I play video games. I just don't talk about it on this channel a lot. Alright? Don't judge me. What is up, guys? You're tuning in to Nicky MG TV for another military video for all your military video needs. As always, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. And as always, we have a live stream 7 p.m. California time every Friday where I answer your questions live. It's a good time. So I actually have a lot of people that I know are gamers in the military, and I know a lot of people that watch this channel are gamers in the military, and I kind of want to do some content towards that eventually. So if you think I should, just let me know down below, and then I'll consider something if you have any good ideas. But in the meantime, how can you game while you are in the military? Obviously, being the console gamer is probably going to be the easiest option. That's because the fact that there are so many different options in order to bring the stuff to you. So for example, the Nintendo Switch just came out. The amazingness of this is that the screen is already here, compact, portable. But I know a lot of you guys are hardcore gamers. You guys want to play PS4, Xbox, and PC. You're like, Nicky, how can I do that? So every base is going to end up having the games screen, usually at the Navy Exchange, which you can use there. That's an option, okay? If you want to use that, you can, but realize on the ship, if you're living on the ship, you're not going to be able to have internet, so that's one downfall. Second, it's kind of big, so you probably don't want that anyway. Another thing that you can do, possibly, is if you wanted to save your money, there are usually rec centers which are in the area that have the newest games that you can always play. You're going to have every system there. But if you wanted your dedicated console, you're going to have to buy it and then possibly bring it with you over to this rec center where they're going to have TV, internet, movies, and pizza and all these other different types of foods that you can order while you're there. Now, if you're some kind of hardcore gamer, this is actually going to be a huge challenge for you if you like to play every day, because it's like, imagine you had to go to Starbucks every day to play your PlayStation or your Xbox or something like that. It just makes for a very big inconvenience if you wanted to play a multiplayer game. Mind you, I love single player games, so that's kind of why this is irrelevant to me, because most of the time I don't like playing online unless it's a shooter. I will say this though, there has been a lot of changes with things that are happening in the Navy, where I've heard of other places getting Wi-Fi near the pier, on the pier, stuff like that. So if you're lucky to be near a ship that has that, good luck. Now, if you're a hardcore gamer, this is where it's definitely going to be much harder. If you're gaming on PC, you're trying to play your League of Legends or whatever you play. Obviously, you're not going to be able to have that gaming PC unless you have a barracks room. So for some of you guys that are going to be more mobile on the ship, it's going to be more realistic for you guys to go out and get that new hot gaming laptop. While it will outdate and won't be as easy to upgrade or customize, it's just going to fit your lifestyle better. To be honest, I used to think that the gaming laptops were really worthless, but then as I saw more single sailors out there that were living on the ship and living in places that were kind of more transient, I realized the benefit and the market that these went for. Again, if you want one of these gaming laptops, they're typically going to have them at the Navy Exchange if you want some kind of baseline model, which they're actually pretty good about maintaining a good stock of stuff for gamers. And honestly, if you guys want gaming stuff, going on base is probably one of the better places to go. Less population to compete for, and then for more rare items, you're not going to have as many people in line. Perfect example was on my part, even though it sucked because I had to work, was the Super Nintendo Classic Edition came out. I sadly wasn't able to get there, but if I went when it opened, Justine told me that there weren't many people in line. I could have easily gotten one. So if you guys want something that's special or like a new console that's coming out, typically if you go to the store on base, I've noticed I've had a little bit better luck than if I went out in town, even though there were more options of stores. Now, this thing here, you guys are probably like, this thing is outdated, lame, who cares about the Nintendo 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS this is, but whatever. If you like to play Nintendo games and you like multiplayer, having one of these on the ship is actually going to be almost essential. I don't know how that is really with the Switch coming out and limited demand, but within the past few years, this has been the staple on ships of what people really enjoy to play with each other. And I say that because the fact that every time a ship came into port, the Nintendo 3DS section was sold out every single time. I had friends which were on the ship, where Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, all these games were huge hits, and it's because you're always near people and you have no internet connection, so you kind of resort back to that older technology. Again, which the Nintendo 3DS has. It's great because you get to do multiplayer right there, and the games are very inexpensive. So you might want to invest in one of these versus something like a PlayStation Vita, because more people have this. Lastly, I want to talk about like how much time are you actually going to have to play video games. This is all varying on what type of work schedule you have. So you could end up in a place where you're working 12 hours a day, or you could be on a flight deck where you're working 18 hours a day. There's just depends on what's going on. Now, in port, you're typically going to have like a lot more free time to go and game, especially on the weekends, after work, Saturday, Sunday. It's kind of like a normal routine, and even when you're on duty, if you're not standing at watch, a lot of people will bring their video games, just play it, because you have to be on the ship anyway, so you might want to bring it and just kind of do something you at least enjoy until you have to stand your watch. Also, I'd highly suggest investing in some really nice headphones, because you typically don't want to play any video games that are really loud on the ship, and that way you're kind of in your own zone where you don't want people to bother you, and typically if you don't have headphones on, people will bother you, so that's a just huge suggestion, and that way you don't bug anyone else around you. So I hope this helped my gamer future military friends out there that are out there wanting to game while they're in the military, because I know it's a huge part of this culture, and if you don't game, I guess you could give it a try or play some board games, who knows. There's plenty of other stuff to do on a ship, but this is just one of those things that like a lot of people cling to because it's just very easy to take with you. A lot of people relate to it, and it's kind of like the commonality fundamental of how some of us get along, just like sports and other things like that. So, as always, guys, if you have questions, you can hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, or down in the comments below. And as always, we have the live stream 7 p.m. California time, where I come hang out with you guys and I answer your questions live. And as always, I love you guys. I'll see you next time.